Okay, guys. Sorry, this video is a little late. Couldn't make it earlier because last night after the game was over, it was late, and I had church today, so this was the first free time I had all since the game's ended. But what can I say? Great defense, Texas, if that phrase even covers it. Gave up one defensive touchdown. Last year, you gave up 24 points, and a lot of people, you're thinking last year's defense is better than this year's. And our defense kind of stepping up and showing people that's not quite the case. I'm pleased to see that nature from this defensive group here. We need to get a little bit better about making mental errors and don't want to give up a lot of mistakes. I mean, we definitely made some mental errors in today's game. Again with some just ridiculous, just blatant penalties. But we only gave up one touchdown, so I'm not going to linger too much on the bad plays. But yeah, we need to work on that a little bit. But we got to have one of the deepest defensive lines in the country. Just all the kudos in the world to Jackson Jeffcoat, a freshman, getting out there, getting his hands dirty, getting his feet wet. This guy's going to be really good. He's going to be the next Roy Miller, Lamar Houston, Brian Arakipo, Sergio Kindle type. He's got more speed. I think he's got too much speed to be a defensive tackle. He's going to be a scary defensive end when his day comes. Maybe even later on this year. He had the great headsy awareness play to chase down the ball after it went over Potts' head on the first snap of the game for Texas Tech. And then, of course, had a sack and a half in this game. So he did a really great job. But we've got to have one of the deepest defensive lines in the country, though. With Eddie Jones, Sam Acho, Randall, Keyston Randall, and Emmanuel Acho as well. So, and then, of course, we've got Alex Okafor as well that rotates and subs in. So we got 6 guys. Extremely talented. It reminds me a lot of Ohio State in recent years, where they have an extremely deep and talented defensive line. Offensively, we're still struggling a little bit. I think we got the best secondary in the country defensively. Really do, with Kenny Vaccaro coming in, but offensively, we have some problems. We still don't fully have an identity. Gilbert threw 3 interceptions. Now, I can't fully blame any of these interceptions on him, really. I think Colt only would have thrown 1. After the 1, he would have been a little bit more conscious and, been stepping up in the pocket and stepping around the defensive lineman instead of trying to throw over the top of them. But as first-year starter in Gilbert, he's going to have these experiences before he gets to that all-star level that we all know that he's going to be one day for Texas. He's like Tom Brady. It's actually what he reminds me of. Just a big, strong arm. He's tall, lean guy. He's going to be real scary one day. Got a pretty good receiving core. We don't have that Shipley or Cosby or Lima Swede, Roy Williams, that one receiver that we've had in the past. Don't really have that guy this year, but as the year goes on, I'm likely going to see it to be John Childs or James Kirkendall, I think. But anyway, and offensively, we have a little bit trouble finding our identity. Really, what we need to do, though, this team does not know how to run power football. This is not an Ohio State. This is not a Big Ten team. We're not good at running power football, and we're certainly not going to run the power football with Fozzie Whitaker in there. He's a very talented running back. He is. We saw him with a very good run that first touchdown of the game for us, where he banged over 2 defenders and pushed his way forward and stretched the ball out. Very good run. But we need to run him out of the shotgun and just, if we're running from under center, just run and pound and pound and pound with Cody Johnson. 250 pounds. Every time I saw him run this game, he ran over the first guy. He may not have necessarily picked up or broken the tackle, but he picked up an extra 2 or 3 yards that Newton or Whitaker would not have picked up. Then Newton needs to relieve him if they're running out under center. And maybe have one formation with Fozzie running under center. I don't know. But Fozzie needs to be the shotgun back. And maybe have one play under center because he is talented. But we need to run Cody Johnson and get these offensive linemen to just push. they get a good push, but they're not really opening any holes. So we kind of have our running backs slamming into the backside of our offensive line and not really opening any holes, getting that far. If we could just get a little bit more success running, just a little bit more, we're gonna have a scary offense because it's gonna be so balanced. But we need to get a little bit more success on the running game. But it's a work in progress. I think as the year goes on, we're gonna see it, be there a little bit more. And obviously Gilbert, he's really good. He's going to be really good down the road. And this year he's going to win some games for us. Did throw 3 interceptions, but he didn't let that get to him. He still threw 2 touchdown passes. Texas tight ends, you need to start catching passes. They dropped 2 or 3 passes in this game. It was just blatant. Between Barrett Matthews and Greg Smith. Matthews, he came through, got the touchdown catch for us, was great composure and great pass under pressure by Gilbert, but these tight ends haven't had to catch a pass in 2.5 years, so it's a little tough for them, I guess. But you gotta start catching passes. You're getting the ball thrown to you. What else are you gonna do? You gotta make the catch. Get your hands on it, haul it in. But defensively, we're right there. And with the way, I really don't know what to expect from Oklahoma. Obviously, some people are saying about how UCLA might present some. It's really a different video. I just want to get into it a little bit. People are saying how UCLA might present some problems for us. I'm not really seeing it. The way our defense is playing, not a chance. Oklahoma can't figure out how to beat Utah State or Arizona, but they go in between there and pound an extremely good, but a pretty good Florida State team. I don't really know what to expect from them, but you know what you're getting from Texas. You're getting smash mouth, run right at you offense to this point with, we'll mix a pass here and there, and extraordinarily good defense. To this point, I did a video earlier saying I thought Oklahoma would probably be our only loss this year. I don't know if Oklahoma can beat us. I don't think we're as good as Alabama this year, personally. As the year goes on, I may feel differently. Right now, we're not as good as Alabama, but I could easily see ourselves in the championship game just because our schedule is so favorable. We got the defense to slow down A&M, and they don't have the defense to stop us, so we can beat A&M. OU, you don't know who's going to show up, and if they're giving up 24 and I think they gave up 24 points to both Utah State and Air Force. What are they going to give up to Texas? I mean, Texas doesn't have the explosive offense that Oklahoma does, even with the offense that they've had in the past. But I think Texas could put up 30 or more if these teams are putting up 24. So but we'll see when that happens. I saw the Washington-Nebraska game, about 3/4 of it. People were saying Locker was the best in the country. We got spoiled with Sam Bradford and Colt McCoy. Locker's nowhere near the level these two guys were. But I really don't see Nebraska beating us. They couldn't really throw the ball. Every time they threw the ball, it was a big play, and that's because they're playing against Washington. I don't see them getting a lot going on our defense running the ball. I personally, I see another Big 12 championship type game coming for us this year. And I just see Texas winning the game because they've got more of a running game this year. So they can smash it out a little bit more and mix it up more, be a little bit harder to stop because we're more balanced. And they don't have a Dominic Sue. So, again, I could easily see us in the championship game just because we have a favorable schedule. And we're Texas, so we're going to get the nod over Boise State and TCU. But that's a different video, hopefully. Guys keep coming through. We may just lose one game this year because we've got a first-year starter at quarterback and a new style of offense. So we may lose one just because of that. And if we are, it's probably going to be to OU and Nebraska. So hook 'em horns, and it looks like it's going to be a fun year.